Thanks for your time today in this video. This is an example of what your company or organization could experience live on your own virtual platform, whatever it is that you prefer. My name is Bill Guertin. I'm Chief Enthusiasm Officer of the 800-Pound Gorilla. We're a sales and communications company committed to inspiring others to become their best, whether in live training, live keynotes, or in virtual settings like this. This is my home studio where I prepare and deliver my signature keynote, The 7 Voices in Your Head, which is an energetic and entertaining program on peak performance and positive mental health. I also do virtual meeting MC work as the voice of the conference to bring all the components of a virtual conference together, make introductions, and professionalize your meeting. In this video, however, I'm demonstrating to you a sample of my newest speaking product, a series of very short motivational programs called 8-Minute MoneyMakers. They're performed live on the platform of your choice, and you have several different options to choose from. Either a single presentation one time or multiple programs of your choice delivered over several weeks. You can choose to customize it with your message and theme, or choose the out-of-the-box version with no customization at a lesser investment. Check the area below this video to be able to find out more about pricing and contact information. And now what I'd like to do is share with you a sample 8-Minute Moneymaker. This one's available, and it's called We're All Leaders Now, 3 Ways to Lead Where You Are. For the first time in our lifetimes, it is now more confusing to be a leader than it is to be a team member at work. Now listen up, those who aren't leaders. I'm going to say that again so you can hear it and let it sink in. It is now more confusing to be a leader than it is to be a member of the general workforce. When you're in charge, you're supposed to know what to do. And yet, for the first time in a universal sense, leaders have had very little concrete evidence or direct experience from which to formulate any sort of way forward. If your boss could talk to you candidly, she or he would tell you that not only are they struggling to make sense of the next steps for you and for everyone else, there's no single resource to give them assurance that it's the right thing to do. You've found yourself in a position to be a leader at home much more than you've probably been before with your children or others. Our world has been compared to being in a deep, dark forest in the middle of the night with a very weak flashlight in our hand. We're only able to see a few feet in front of us. When we stay frozen in one place, we're going to be in danger from the creatures in the woods. We could walk slowly forward, but we can't run or go too fast because we'll do a face plant right into a tree that we don't see coming. So what can you do as a leader, and what can you do as a good team member to navigate this way forward with more confidence? I have 3 simple suggestions, 3 for leaders and 3 suggestions for team members that each of you can act on today, no matter where you are in the hierarchy. Let's start with the leaders first. Focus less on your team's hours spent working and more on the results they're achieving. Think of them less as your sales team and more like a group of independent consultants. Give them the deliverables, the deadlines, and the information on who to go to for questions or support, and then allow them the freedom to get it done in their work-from-home world. The old metrics where people all worked next to each other may simply not be possible. Don't try to control their schedule. Focus more on the outcomes that you've mutually agreed on and less on the hours they choose to put in to achieve them. Give them the autonomy to figure out how to get it done within their world, whether it takes them 30 hours or 50 hours a week. Number 2, focus less on tasks and more on the person doing them. This is the time for you to be human with them. A recent Forbes article quoting a UNC Chapel Hill and Harvard Medical School study showed that 36% of employees have been experiencing mental health challenges during this time. Everyone's situation is unique. Some have older parents that are at risk. Some have no extra space at home for an office and their children. And some are not sure how they're going to pay next month's rent. Showing others that you understand them and care how they feel is your most valuable leadership skill right now. Ask what's distracting them. Give them space to talk. An understanding ear may be the best thing you can do to help your people grow and will be remembered by them far into their careers as leaders themselves. And number 3, focus less on the fire hose of information and more on genuine, quality interactions with your people. Many of us have been flooding our people with as much information as possible to avoid them feeling out of the loop. You certainly should be giving them the information they crave, but in addition to the regular emails and Zoom calls, create regular, intentional touch points with every single person on your team to connect, to ask, to observe, to coach and support them and the work that they're doing. Set up consistent one-on-ones and stick to the schedule. Make it more of a check-in than a check-up. Ask for ideas and input. With a clear set of deliverables, it should be an easy conversation to celebrate any progress or to offer support on how you can help them move forward. Team members, your role is just as important as the leaders here. So number one, remember, your boss is human too. As much as we crave someone to give us all the answers we need, your leader is trying to balance the demands of the company with their own family life and what he or she knows can be done. Work with your boss to come up with a plan that helps to move you and the company forward while recognizing the limitations you're both experiencing. 2 is to be upfront with how you're feeling. The added challenges of remote working has created anxiety and stress for employees in dozens of new ways. Talk to your boss about how you're getting by. Be honest about what's going on in your world. It doesn't allow you a free pass from the job that needs to be done, but knowing how you're feeling will help your supervisor to help you. Number 3, take a moment of gratitude every now and then. Your situation may not be ideal, but there are many that have experienced a far more stressful time than you. If your company's been solid with you and given you a chance to earn a living in this craziness, consider yourself fortunate and decide to say thank you by giving your employer all you can at all times. It's not a perfect situation for anyone, but decide that your company deserves your very best and then deliver on that every day. We are all leaders now. You may not have it in your title, but it's up to all of us to create our own version of success for those who come after us. They'll write about 2020 in the history books as the time we were thrown into this challenging situation and we became creative and resilient on purpose. Let's show the generation after us how it ought to be done. Let's review again. Leaders, focus less on your team's hours and more on the results they're achieving. Focus less on the tasks and more on the person doing them. Focus less on the fire hose of information and more on genuine, quality interactions with your people. And team members, remember your boss is human too. Be upfront with how you're feeling and take a moment for a deep breath and an internal word of thanks every now and then. It starts with you as an individual and it starts today. Take a moment and type in the chat area right now what you took away from today's message. What was meaningful for you and what will you be doing differently as a result of our 8 minutes together today? Please take a look at your notes, gather your thoughts, and type in the chat area the one thing you'll commit to doing going forward. It's great to have sessions like these, but without positive action, these sessions are just entertainment. What has been brought to light in you that you will act upon personally going forward? It could be to ask how your boss is doing, human to human. It could be being more upfront about how you're feeling. Leaders, it could be taking more time with one-on-ones or looking differently at the performance metrics to reflect where and how we deliver on our job requirements. Write it in the chat, and I sincerely hope you've found value in today's brief session. I'm Bill Guertin, and I hope to see you again very soon.